Hello everyone. This is my first video on analytics and I'm really excited to talk about 10 different ways how you can screw your data visualization. The first one is a pie chart where the individual percentages do not just add up. Now you see 42 plus 56 is 98, right? And what is even more interesting here is that the bigger pie has only 42% and the smaller pie has 56% here. A great way of screwing your visualization. The second one is you can forget or hide your origin. To be specific, if you look at only the blue and the yellow bars, you might initially think that the yellow one is 4 times larger than the blue one if you don't pay attention to the numbers. And why is that so? Because the way this graph is drawn is that the origin of the x-axis is not made 0. So that's why all this confusion is coming. And it is a great way to miscommunicate your story to your audience if you just hide your origin. The third one, I call it the color blindness test. Now think of a person like me who is colorblind and I want to figure out how bigger are the pies for some of the individual groups. What I have to do is I have to find the color of a particular group and come here in the pie chart and match the color, which is a nightmare for me. Another great way of telling a story that is not understandable. The fourth one, I call it raise the bar. Now, if you focus on the largest bar, it has a value of 1.10. And now if you go back and look at the other numbers, they're all bigger than 1.10. But it was made to look in such a way that it is telling you the wrong story. You get the wrong information. You won't remember the numbers, you will remember the length of the bars. And that is a great way of miscommunication. The fifth one, when I looked at this graph for the first time, I thought that it is from one of the 1950s television shows or movies because it's all black and white, and I had to struggle to find out how the individual lines go up and down in this graph. So for example, I have to traverse through the individual lines to figure out when it was going up and when it was going down. On the other hand, a color like 4 or 5 different colors would have been the simplest way to fix this. So if you don't want to communicate that, this is a great way to screw things. The next one is a bar chart where there are meaningless colors, rather bold colors, which do not tell you anything. It's only a pain in the eye. So that is a great way of screwing this up. My seventh one is a really complicated one where you have no clue what is going on because it's a 3D graph and some of the graphs are actually behind other graphs, so you have no idea how long those bars are, even if you wear 3D glasses. So another great way of screwing your visualization. This one, when I saw this graph for the first time, it looked like that a UFO is flying, from left to right. There are a couple of problems here. First of all, they are pie charts, and it's difficult to compare a particular color over those 6 categories. The second of all, it's 3D. That's why it is not possible to compare 2 colors even in one single pie. There is no story that is coming out of this particular graph. So a great way of not communicating anything. My ninth one is very interesting, where the y-axis has been recycled. The rainfall and the temperatures are in 2 different units, however, the same axis has been used here. What is the result of that? The temperature almost looks like that it is constant, whereas it is not, right? So it should have been 2 different graphs. But if you really want to screw up your story, this is the way to do that. My last one is losing track of time. When you have a number of variables, out of which one is time, like this, you put the time in your x-axis so that it can be tracked, and a simple collection of line charts would have been great here. But if you really want your audience not to make out anything from this chart, this is the great way of doing that. Well, that's all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for viewing.